Howdy friends, welcome back to Make and Play. Today we are going to be creating a little forest, some greenery to go around our medieval castle town, castle village. We need a place for bandits and other nasty sorts to live, along with the animals, the fuzzy bunnies and everything else. Okay, so remember, I'm drawing with the top of mine up here. I'm drawing upside down, and I'm gonna start with a marker. You are gonna start with a pencil so that you can erase the lines you don't want, but I'm worried you won't be able to see it if I don't start with a marker. So I'm starting with a marker. Here we go. And we are not gonna be doing things that are symmetrical. We're gonna be having lots of texture, and we're gonna be using shapes, but we're not going to be having these perfectly symmetrical, because this is something that is what we call organic. These are organic shapes. They don't have names. So we know that a circle, everybody knows what a circle looks like. You can use that word and everybody knows what it means, because there are rules to a circle, there are rules to a square. But if you say a tree, wow, there's lots of different types of trees, aren't there? So these are called organic shapes. I am going to use some shapes to start with, because everything starts with a shape. I'm going to give myself a little line here with my pencil, and then I'm going to go directly over it with my Sharpie so that you can see the difference. So let's see, I'm going to have a triangle. Let's start with like an evergreen tree, and this one starts with a triangle. And now on top of this triangle, watch how easy this is. I'm just going to add my texture right on top. Now you can just work on this with your pencil. I'm going in with my Sharpie, remember, so you can see. And I'm adding that texture. I'm not covering it with texture. I'm just adding enough so that our viewer, the person who looks at our artwork, knows that there is texture there. Every time we're creating things, we need to think about the viewer. The viewer can just be you, and that's fine. All right, so there is a nice pine tree. Looks like a Christmas tree. It reminds me a lot of like a Dr. Seuss tree. If we made it kind of curve, it would look like a Dr. Seuss tree. I'm gonna get rid of my pencil lines. I'm liking this tree a lot. All right, so I'm gonna do another tree that is more round. Let's see, it's gonna be, how about this is gonna be like a half circle one. Okay, I'm gonna go darker with my pencil so you can see. And then, so it's a half circle, and then I've got a rectangle. It looks like a mushroom, which we should add some mushrooms somewhere. Little mushrooms growing in the forest, I love that. All right, so now I'm going to create my tree here by adding on. I'm going to change my shape that I started with into the contour, the actual shape of the tree. I need some limbs. See how I'm just cutting away at what was already there? I took that rectangle and I just took pieces away. This space in between, oh, this is a great vocabulary word. Oh, I love it. It's called negative space. Negative means to take away. Negative space is a space in between, like this space here. That's a negative space. It's a space in between. And sometimes it's easier to explain how to draw something by explaining the negative spaces than the positive spaces, like the trunk here. I think I'm going to add, let's see, I'm not going to add anything yet. I'm going to go ahead and work on the contour line. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm really excited to add details. And that's something that we do as an artist. We'll start adding details before we get all of our shapes and contour in. And sometimes that can be a problem when in the end we don't have things where they're supposed to be. I do that often because I just get excited. I get excited about art. I'm excited. Okay, so I'm going to just stay within this half circle to fill in these bunches of leaves, because leaves grow in bunches on branches, okay? And some of these bunches are in front of other bunches, because that's the way things work. So here is another tree. All right, I can add some details now. I can add texture and I can add little surprises, which are my favorite. Oh, I'm gonna put a little negative space right here. Look at that. See that? I added some negative space. I can also add some negative space within my tree. That's a hole for the birds to fly through. I had an art teacher that always used to say, Leanne, leave some holes for birds to fly through. I think that sounds a little dangerous, but that's what I'm gonna do. I can even put some little branches going through there. Oh yeah, I like that. So when you look at trees, they do have holes where the birds fly through. Okay, so here's some details that I like. I'm gonna put a hole in this tree right here because I'm gonna hide something in there. I think this is where we have some eyes looking out. I don't know what that is, but I would not want to get too close. If I turned around and saw that, I'd be like, ooh, walk away, walk away. All right, this is the edge of the hole in that tree. I'm looking at this upside down, so it looks even funnier. I'm gonna add some texture here, some other little holes and gnarly bits. Remember, I don't have to add all the texture. I can just add some of the texture. But we want it to look like, if you put your hand on it, it would be rough, okay? All right, I'm gonna add some texture up here in my leaves. I'm gonna leave a little spot somewhere to put a bird's nest. I think we need a bird's nest. That's how we can tell it's a healthy forest, right? Lots of birds, animals. Hope there's no scary animals in this forest. Okay, so I'm gonna put, let's see, I'm gonna put a little bird's nest. I'm gonna put it right here. And I'm not gonna put a top on it. Instead of a top, I'm just gonna add this texture edge. See how I use little short lines to create an edge that looks like it has some, like it's rough, like it's made out of bits of straw. And then that's how I'm gonna fill it in. And then let's see, let's add some little bird. It's like, tweet. All right, there's my bird. We can add a little baby bird here with its little mouth sticking out. There we go. He wants mama to feed him. And we can add, I'm gonna add a little branch here. So it's sitting on a branch. Okay. So that's a nice little surprise there. Let's see, what should we do next? How about, why don't we do a row of trees? All right, I'm gonna show you how to do a row of trees. So this is gonna be a tree line. I just flipped this over because I have some other things that we're gonna use too. And this is kind of me practicing. I'm gonna do a row, a tree line. So it's a row of trees. And this is real simple. You're just going to give yourself some up and down lines like this. These are gonna be our like evergreen. And we're gonna do the same thing we did before. Except for I'm not gonna be as detailed because this is gonna go in the background. We're gonna cut this out and make this so that it fills in our background. This whole thing is kind of like a, very much like a set for a theater play, a theatrical play, because that's what we're doing. We're creating a set for you guys to be able to play. Or not, you don't have to play. You can be like me. The play part, this is the play part for me. I like to play a little bit, but I mostly like to do the art. And if you have a younger brother or sister or a friend that really likes to do the play and you like to do the art, oh my goodness, they're gonna be so happy that you made such a great medieval village for them. And maybe they could work with you and add on to it. All right, so you see how I'm getting this little tree line here? You could have, your background also could include, ooh, it could have a big mountain in the background. That would be nice too. All right, so here are a bunch of these evergreen trees, but I think we need something in the foreground. So maybe something in the foreground would be some kind of like bushes or small trees. These are like some little saplings. There's no rules here. I'm just making this up as I go. Which is so much fun. There's some more trees. And the way we can make these look different is we need to think about using different colors, okay? We've got different textures and we need different colors. And when I say different colors, maybe it's just a different shade. So maybe this green is a very deep green, and then the green on these bushes here is maybe a much brighter green, like a yellow green. These could be more of like a deep blue green, even with a little bit of umber in them. And then we could even add some other greens. We'll look through our pencils and see what colors we can find. I'm gonna have some tall grasses here. Some more bushes. Okay, so I think that I'm gonna make some of these trees go in front of other trees. Remember, this is background. We don't want this to be something that the viewer's spending a whole lot of time looking at, because we want them to look at our cool village and our castle, okay? We don't want Bert and Ernie getting lost in this forest, that's for sure. I don't think they have any skills in the wilderness. They are city people, okay? They come from Sesame Street. Okay, here we go. All right, so I've got lots of trees. I have this tree line, and then I also have these two trees. You can add whatever trees you want. Think about what else you could add in your forest. Maybe you've got a little hut, a little sneaky forest shack. Somebody's out there. Maybe you have somebody's got a tent and maybe a campfire. Maybe you have a band of thieves and they've got their treasure chest hidden in the forest. Here, let's draw a treasure chest right here. Goodness, I wonder what's in there. Be gold, right? That's what's always in a treasure chest. Gold and jewels. All right. So we can think about adding some other things in there. Whatever you want. This is where you get to be super creative. Think about the story that this forest is telling. Maybe it's an enchanted forest. Maybe there are fairies that live in this forest. Or maybe there are little hobbits and we need to have a hobbit hole. I think we can work that out. I think we can make a hobbit hole to go in here. That'd be lots of fun. You can also put some of your animals. Remember the other day we did animals. You could do some forest animals. What about a fox? I think I'm just gonna put a fox right here. Thinking in my head what a fox looks like. That's what I do when I think. Okay, got it. I think that a fox has a pointy little cheeky thing, and then he's gonna have a super pointy nose, right? And then his little eyes, and then he's got foxy ears, right? Some foxy ears. Let's see. If I looked at a fox and planned it out better, he'd be even better. But this is fun. This is just fun. We're just having a good old time. So here's his little body. And the most important thing, his foxy tail. All right, there's a little fox. Awesome. All right. I feel like there should be a big old snake somewhere. I wanted to put it in the tree. I think I'll just put a snake. He's coiled up down here. Maybe he's looking at the treasure. This is a straight up, like, cartoon coiled up snake. He's a rattlesnake. Of course. He definitely looks like he should be in an enchanted forest. Okay. And I think that I'm going to make some little sound lines here. That means little motion and sound lines. That means caution. Don't get near him. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of color. Let's see. I'm going to take some green and start adding some green onto my bushes. And remember, we're going to add different shades and values. Shade is where a color changes from one to the next, and a value is how dark or how light a color is. So I'm going to use some of this green here. The snake is hiding in these bushes. I need to sharpen my pencil because it's dull. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue coloring my tree line and coloring my enchanted forest. And we're going to go next door to the play segment and we're going to put all this together. So I'll see you in just a second. Oh, hey. Okay, we're at the play part and I am just cutting this up. I haven't finished coloring this part right here, but that's okay. I wanted to show you how our background of trees in our magical enchanted forest looked. I'm going to use my block barrel here to hold up my trees. Here we go. Here is my forest. Awesome. So that's where, see the unicorn's over here now because this is where the unicorn needs to be. And let's see what else we could add. Let's add this tree. This is a real pretty tree. Look at that. I'm going to put that one right here because I'm kind of filling in. This is my way background, okay? This is more in the foreground. Let's put the unicorn up here. That way he won't look quite so big. It's beautiful, beautiful. So Miss Heather made this awesome little hobbit hole. This is a old broken tree, so some little hobbit lives in there. I'm gonna have to put put a block in here so it won't fall over. There we go. So I put a block. See, this is on a toilet paper roll, and I just put a block in here to give it some weight so it doesn't fall over. So remember, you can use all sorts of recycled things to make this work. Oh, this one does not want to stay up. Let me see. I'm gonna borrow this. There you go. Maybe that's enough weight now. Okay, there we go. So we have our forest in the background. We have our cool little hobbit hole here. And this pretty tree here. What else do we need? How about some magical little mushrooms here? We'll put them right there. Some little mushrooms. And here's another tree. We learned how to make these trees today so that you guys can make all sorts of trees like this, right? We started with the shape and then we added the texture. So now we need to find a spot for Big Bird. He's in his nest now. He's not in the sanitation truck. We're gonna put him over here by the hobbit hole so you can see him. There we go. Big Bird, he belongs in the forest. I don't know why he was ever in Sesame Street. That's not a place for birds to be, right? So we'll just let our trash truck come through here. I don't think there's any sanitation to be picked up in the enchanted forest. Maybe some sparkly unicorn poop. That's about it. So let's go through here. Here we go. Hello. It's like, there we go. You can come from the enchanted forest and over here to the castle. No, back in. So there we go. We have our forest and our animals, our castle. I've got a cathedral that Grayton did that I gave y'all a sneak peek of. We're gonna get that set up. And then over here we have our little village and some hay. My tip jar. If you like what you see, you can leave me a little tip. I'd appreciate it. And then we are gonna add some extras. So join me next time when we create a dragon, a big dragon that's either nice and comes in here and makes peace, or it destroys the entire medieval village. I don't know, we'll have to see what happens, all right? So until the next time, see you later.